hate puppies. It's good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully help you figure out what beer you should be drinking this weekend. We got an oldie but a goodie this weekend, or this particular deli. Well, we'll see if it's an oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a newie?
Yeah, they fucked with the formula. Screwing it all up.
This is another one.
Oh, look at this. I didn't give Pat time to get ready. we got Pat in the house.
Can you guys hear that?
We can hear that, man. How are you?
Good. Just trying to get this microphone.
I noticed I didn't give you a single test or anything, so I'm just going to dial you in as we go. That's what I do, man. I'm on the fly.
That's right.
We also have Sean here from Nectar Sunglasses. How are you, man?
What's up, guys? I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you here.
Welcome back.
It's been a
minute.
It's
Yeah.
been like a year.
It probably has. Did we record last time I was in Folly? I don't think so.
No, we saw you for
Yeah,
just on the beach.
We just hung out.
Yeah.
Drank beers. That'll show them.
That doesn't sound like you. Oh, wait. It sounds exactly like you.
Yeah, drinking beers.
Yeah.
The only difference was he showed up with the dog this time. That was like the big difference. How is the dog?
She's great.
Yeah?
Still big. A lot of hair.
Dog has no idea what's coming.
I know.
She has no idea.
That's right.
Are we allowed to talk about that here? Are we allowed to divulge the top secret information?
You can.
Yes. Nectar Sunglasses is about to come out with kids' sunglasses. That is the top secret. And why is that? Oh, I guess I buried the. I missed the main point. Sean's having a baby. Congratulations,
Congrats,
man.
I appreciate it.
It's super exciting. In like July?
July 9th, so he might come early. We don't know yet, but
They don't
that's
know.
the date.
You never know.
They never.
Yeah.
They don't know.
No.
They were way off with my estimations.
Really?
Oh,
When
yeah.
you were
Like,
born?
How
No,
early
when my
or-
first son was born, they gave us the date. They were like, "Oh, he's going to be due on this date because he was conceived on this date," and we both were like, "That cannot be true," because we knew what we were doing that weekend. We were like, "He's going to be
That was one
2
of those
weeks early."
no sex weekend.
Yeah, and we had been on a trip to New York 2 weeks prior. We were like, "He's probably conceived that weekend," and sure as shit, he was due November 15th, and he showed up November 1st, 2 weeks early. Like.
So right on time.
Right,
Based on conception.
But they kept arguing. I was like, there was no conception that weekend, and they were like, "Oh yeah, there was." I'm like, then I'm gonna really be in for a surprise because I can tell you what I wasn't doing.
Yeah, that would be a bit shocking.
Yeah,
Having sex?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, tell you what I wasn't doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's awkward.
not that weekend. So
So are you guys ready for this?
As ready as we can be. Molly, my wife, plans endlessly. So we've been working on the nursery for 5 months. I mean, it's done, minus the ceiling fan that came with missing wires. I think for the business, it's going to be tough. I think no entrepreneur can really prepare for that. And luckily, I live so close. You guys have been there.
Oh yeah, you're
It's
right around the corner from the shop.
pretty quick. So I'll be, taking a few weeks off and then in and out. And luckily, I can work remotely. But we're a small team, so they're going to have to hold the ship down for a bit until I come back to life.
it's so exciting.
Are you going to give yourself paternity leave? I guess you're the boss.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
I'll be back in 3 months.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. We're going to Hawaii, so
I've seen it. I've certainly seen it. I don't know. Your situation is going to be a little different. I know I made it like a week, and I'm not the boss.
Yeah,
I was like, I need to get back to work.
yeah, it's hard for me to, I was sick a couple weeks ago and I felt like I missed a month of work, and it was
when you're
3 days.
When you're the boss, every minute you don't work is basically every minute you're not making money. Whereas, like, if you're an employee, it's like, oh yeah, I got all this paid leave. Like,
Well, that was I was sales
Yeah.
and like highly commissioned sales.
yeah,
And I was like, baby, we don't have any money.
yeah.
Like, I got to get back in there like right away, which maybe wasn't a good move. Maybe was a good move. I don't know. You can't do much. I'll give you a little pro tip as a dad.
I'll take all the tip.
As a dad, you don't have a whole lot of value in those first few months. Your job is to support your wife, basically, because she's literally built for it. Like God gave them tits, and
You fill in the gaps.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like you make sure that she's comfortable. Your job is to take care of her. And occasionally, I even got to the point like the baby would cry and I'd get up and I'd be in there and like she'd be feeding the baby.
You'd just be standing there.
I'd just stand there like an asshole and be like, "Can I get you anything?" Mm-hmm. She'd be like, "No, I'm holding a baby. Like I'm doing my thing."
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'll just sit in the corner. And I would just sit there. We did that for like weeks. And
Yeah.
she was like, "Why are you here?" She's like, how about we do this? When I'm sleeping, then you're in charge of the baby. I was like, okay, that's a better deal. With like the middle of the night stuff, I didn't really have a lot of value. We even went to like the bottles and the babies looked at me like, your tits are the worst. It didn't work out the way I wanted.
Yeah, I took a week off. I had more leave, but I was excited to have a baby and spend time with it, but at the same time, it's like, I can't contribute but so much. So like, I just got back to work. Then once they get older, they don't just sleep and eat. So it's like, okay, now I can do more. Now I'll take some more leave, and now I'll invest more time and energy. But again, I just try to support the wife as much as I possibly could.
I think that's what I've learned from my friends who've done it the right way. Like, don't take your paternity on the front end. Wait till her maternity leave's up.
Yeah.
And then the baby's already a little like head is up, like taking bottles, and like you can actually show some value.
Yeah.
And get some work done.
We're a little worried because we live away from our entire family. So they all scheduled a week of next parent group coming the following. And then there's 3 weeks straight of parents.
To help out.
Yeah. So we actually made a list of like chores that like, hey, we don't need your help with the baby. You can go Swiffer our dog hair that's everywhere. Or like these things will help us because,
cook dinner.
Pat obviously knows some of our parents are pretty intense and want to be hands-on. And everything that we've read was saying like, do not invite parents for a few weeks until you're settled. And I want Molly to be healing and not have to feel like we need to entertain or host anybody. And hopefully they don't get offended if we're like, all right, you need to get the fuck out because we need some time.
I mean, you're going to have a new family and you need that family to bond. Like, so like, they're your parents and siblings and stuff, but it's like, you're going to be looking at your whole family in a different light now, like, so I enjoy spending time with just me, the wife, and the 2 kids. Like a lot of times, I don't need other family members around. We do stuff with our family, but sometimes I'm like, I just want to go here with these 4, the core group.
Yeah, that's the group.
But then that hurts feelings.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're entering into a whole new level of hurting feelings.
Right.
In the name of doing the right thing. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Great.
No, you're not hurting our feelings. Fuck.
Yeah. That's it. You get those little like side comments.
Guess you don't need me now.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We'll never help out with the baby then, fine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, then I guess we got to where we wanted to get to. That was not the goal.
Are they staying in the house with you?
No, they're
very good.
Getting Airbnbs.
Smart.
But I feel like that is almost harder to like, you guys need to leave our house.
Yeah.
Have conversation versus us just going into a room if they're with us. But we're going to figure it out just like everybody else. And
that's it. I like that you guys
Nobody
are planning.
knows what they're doing.
They're planning.
Yeah.
That's great. That is so
That is
adorable.
Everything always goes as planned.
Absolutely. I remember when we first came home, my wife's like yours, big time planner. We had that nursery done mad early. Everything was set up. We were aces. Nothing could phase us. Like we took all the classes, we did everything. The house was set up. 22-hour labor resulting in a C-section. Literally everything from the baby upstairs. Wife cannot go upstairs.
Yep.
Shit. Immediately, as soon as we walked in the door, nothing was where it needed to be. So I'm having to break down stuff, carry it down the stairs, put it back up. It was a shit show. Like you're not ready at all.
Yeah.
And then I remember like we sat the baby up for the first time, like did something, and the baby just fell back on its head.
Yeah.
Like on the table. Like that turned into just like an absolute cry fest. The whole place went to shit. Like at that point, everything was like quarantined to like one room. Like we just had to like, you can plan all you want.
Yeah.
And I love that you're planning.
I mean, so far it's been great. There was one moment where I thought we were going to get a divorce because I had to build 3 breast station feeding stands from Amazon because the first one wasn't tall enough. So she was like, I'm going to order 2 more and we can send them back. And at first, so yeah, it's fine. And this one was the hardest fucking thing to build. Like I was having it like anxiety
From
attack.
IKEA?
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Let me help." I was like, "Get the fuck out!" Like it was, and then I had to break it back down because that wasn't the one. It was brutal.
Put it all the screws back in the little baggie.
Yeah.
And send it back.
What a nightmare.
Did y'all Google everything when you were with your firstborn? Like something
Probably,
happened, and
yeah.
you're just like, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
yeah.
Call the
So scared.
pediatrician nonstop.
My daughter drank a bunch of hand sanitizer.
Ooh, nice.
like we're like months in, and she gets her hands on some hand sanitizer. I don't know how much she drank, but she got it and she had it. And I was like, this kid's gonna be, shit faced. And so like I raced up to the CVS and was like, I need syrup of Ipecac, because that's all I could think of is like just make the kid puke a bunch.
Can you give children that?
Turns out they don't even sell syrup of Ipecac anymore. That's like something they do not do. They're like, that is like horribly cruel. And I was like, yeah, but she's like 4 months old. Like she can get this down. She puke everywhere. They were like, looked at me like, you're the biggest piece of shit. About to call it protective services.
You need milk of the poppy?
Have you ever heard of Google?
Well, they ended up giving me like
Activated
something.
charcoal?
Correct.
Yeah.
They were like, it's fine. It's going to be a little, and I'll be damned if that kid didn't go from like laughing to crying to dancing and laughing and crying. And I was like, so that's the kind of drunk she'll be.
What was it?
Yeah.
Activated charcoal. Like it's just charcoal that filters everything, sucks everything up.
Yeah. Turns out it's a much better way to do things than inducing vomiting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who knew? You can still get syrup of Ipecac for dogs. It shows where we
And then you don't
rank things.
have to deal with vomit.
Which at the time I was just panicked. I was like, don't let me kill this kid.
Yeah.
Like I have one job, and I'm failing.
I'm going to take a nap. All right, I got it. I got her.
Yeah, I got this from here. Hey, the kid finished a fifth, and I'm all out of bourbon, so I'm going to go get Yeah, I'm excited
sounds.
for you. So are you going to, I know you've been asked a million times if you're going to make kids sunglasses. Is this going to be the thing that
He's
the
got
catalyst?
a few years to get to that point.
We probably will at some point, just because we have a kid now. I think for us, it's just been, it's hard. Kids' faces at that age typically they change a lot. We did do a run of kids blue light blockers, but I mean their heads change, so it only fits like a very short window of time.
Yeah.
Just like kids' clothes, they grow out of them. We looked at some that have adjustable earpieces, and they just feel kind of crappy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, kids' hands are like little vices. They just break shit. So the material is important. The size is important.
I think it's within 2 years there will be kids nectars.
well-
I'm calling it. I know it's been asked a lot. I know I've asked about it, and other people have asked. Pat, I'm sure you've asked about it at some time.
Oh, try to get them for summer.
Yeah, we've all
She
done
loves
it.
your sunglasses. They just don't fit her.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boys have been wearing all the old Nectars I've had for years. Like, they just, all the, like, Wayfarer style, from back in the day.
Yeah, Troy, put these on. Look at these were built for Troy's
For
face.
Big Head.
Yeah, these are sweet, man. They're
Yeah,
doing.
you
like
brought a bunch of new products. Tell everybody about them.
I mean, look at those on him.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like Macho Man Randy Savage fucked Jose Canseco.
But
Look at
Super
these.
Trooper.
Look at these. Equally as good.
Those
These are
like
the true Pit
old
Viper
school-
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Pit
The old-
Vipers.
Oh yeah.
Be playing baseball or something.
They look like
Yeah.
exactly what my son wears.
Can't even
on
have
a baseball field.
No sun.
Those are sick, dude. And they fully wrap around your head.
That's a snug fit, but not because they're
'Cause I got a
small
big
and
head.
on a big head. No, I'm just saying.
Not
like
your
that,
face.
No, they're just built for that. They're
Designed.
built-
The
that's what
lens
they
like
do.
Made
wraps
to-
really close.
They're made to do that.
I mean, that's that old 80s style right there. And I like that those are in white, too, because there's nothing more 80s than white sunglasses.
We had a white
Look like
pair.
I'm a villain.
We had this one white pair for years, and I don't know who the fuck wears white, but
I have
people
a,
do.
Okay, thanks. I have a pair of the white ones with the blue lens.
Yeah, those, and we had a white with black, and for some reason they were always in the top 10 of.
Yeah, I wear them.
SKUs.
I wear them whenever I go snowboarding. They are my snowboard goggle.
Mm-hmm.
I just rock them.
If a guy wears white shoes, he's gonna wear white sunglasses.
I love a white shoe.
Right. I don't wear white shoes. Do you wear white shoes?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Do you wear white shoes?
I just bought my first pair of
I'm talking like all white.
white.
yeah, white.
like Air Maxes. and I was like, "Are these too dad or not?" And I like,
No. Air Max is cool. You got to get the right white shoe.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like, you get the wrong white shoe, like the New Balance in white. You're like,
they're made for
up.
they're made for dad mode.
It's weird though when you do get your first white on
So
pair,
bright.
It feels too white.
It does.
This is you got to get dirt on them, or it feels.
As soon as they get dirty, though, you're going to be like,
I know,
oh, they need to be white again.
That's why I'm not a sneakerhead, because I immediately get every pair of shoes I have dirty. Like I can't. I'll walk out of the store and they'll be filthy. Like I'm just awful
Same.
at it. So I don't understand sneakerheads that are like buying, $500 pairs of shoes and wearing them, and then like my son was telling me he's kind of getting into it. Like they make these things because creases are bad on your shoes. They make these like hard plastic molds you can slide in your shoes in the toe box to prevent your shoe from creasing when you're walking.
And you're talking for like athletic shoes, or
For
they've always done them
Jordan.
For Nikes and Jordans.
Yeah.
My daughter the other day made a comment. I was wearing a pair of they're like white and gray Vans. She was like, they got creased. It's like, I wear these shoes.
Yeah.
I had no idea this thing existed.
My foot flexes.
Yeah.
She goes, no, you got to get these for your Nikes. And I was like, what are you talking about? Fast forward 2 weeks, she insisted on a pair of white Air Force Ones.
Nice.
I was like, uh-oh, she's got it in her.
Yeah.
She's got a little of that. They do look dope, though.
What about those Kanyes? You guys,
Those are the worst shoe
aren't they
ever.
not the worst fucking shoe you've ever seen?
There's a lot of ugly shoes out there.
But people will pay top dollar.
I mean, if you go to Nike's website, they've got 300 different types of shoes with multiple colors in each one. I just can't imagine how much design goes into them. But I'm not a big sneaker. Like I have workout shoes, but God, they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've come a long way in terms of.
My other daughter just got a pair of 1977 Nike high tops. Now, if you run the numbers, in 77 Nike was literally trash.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make it until.
Were these shoes you're talking about made in the 70s?
No, they're called they're 77 style. They're a throwback to 77. And I'm like, that was the era of Converse. Mm-hmm. Like nobody even had Nikes. It wasn't until Jordan that Nike really
took off.
Hit them back.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to give that contract to Magic, and Magic said no. And then
no one likes Nikes.
No, why would anyone want Nikes? Magic had a chance to get in with this startup. He's like, I'm not taking that risk. And that dude, Knight, whenever he was like, I will give you ownership of the company. Like, I'm going to give you shares. Like, you're betting on us and you. He was like, yeah, that's stupid. He went with Converse. Jordan was like, yeah, why not?
There's a show on Netflix. The guy, Tinker Hatfield, who's the designer, he designed Jordan number 2 to number 23. And his story about basically Phil Knight said he saved Nike.
Wow.
Because he was like a young intern, then designer, and he put him on the Jordan shoe, and he did all this research and looked up all the things Michael was into. And anyways, I had this meeting, and of course, Michael's playing golf. He was 4 hours late. It was Phil Knight, 2 other people, and this 24-year-old kid. And so Jordan comes in. He's like, what do you got? And he sits down, and he starts explaining, like, I know you like elephants, and I did this texture, and I put this pattern. He was like, show me the shoe. So he pulls the shoe out, and he wanted to wow him. So he liked the shoe, and he's like, wait, there's more. And he brings in a whole tracksuit of what the whole attire would look like collectively designed. And apparently he started clapping and was like, that was it. And then he was his right hand for 20 years after that.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Is that why they did that pattern? Because he likes elephants?
Yeah, he thought elephants were powerful and just mystical creatures.
Love an elephant.
Yeah.
Learn something more about Jordan
here,
all the time.
No one's watched that new movie Air?
No, I want to see that though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
The last Jordan thing I saw was the Last Dance.
Yeah, there's a brand new movie with Ben
didn't know
Affleck and Matt Damon. It's called
Which
Air.
one's playing Jordan?
Both of them.
Both.
It's really wild.
This is awkward on multiple levels.
Actually, I think the whole movie, what I read was Jordan's not even in it.
So is it the story of Nike?
It's it's the story of them signing him. And
all right, I need to check it out.
I think the guy Tinker's got to be in there.
you would think.
Yeah.
Couple Boston boys telling
I know
the story.
his mom's in it. She had a big role in the whole thing.
Jordan's mom?
Yeah.
They were able to get Jordan's mom.
Not the there's an actress playing the mom.
I thought you meant Jordan's real mom, too.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? They couldn't get his dad.
Oh, too soon.
There's a book.
Not too soon, but
Objection! Hearsay!
Phil Knight wrote a book called Shoe Dog. It's probably one of my favorite books. It's like, at first when you read it, I thought it was just an introduction. He was explaining it, but he actually writes it first person, like from when he went to Japan as a 22-year-old kid out of college with no money, right when like World War II vibes were just settling, like alone, and went to factories and did it. And I mean, it's an impressive story of how the coolest part is that, 2 cool facts about Nike. One is a sidebar, but in the book, the swoosh or whatever, when they were making it up, some intern drew it, and they're like, "What is that?" They're like, "It's a swoosh."
Swoosh.
Like, well, swoosh. What is that? That's the noise a runner makes when they pass you. And they were like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" And then
that's what it is. It's actually the sound.
And so this is the craziest. So
swoosh is an onomatopoeia, an example of onomatopoeia. Is that correct?
Sure.
I have no idea.
Isn't that when a word? I don't know. Or is that when it say like raining cats and dogs? Damn it. Can't remember.
So
if
the
it's a
saying
word that sounds.
I just thought it was when the basketball went through the hoop,
That's
That
swish.
makes
Swish.
more- yeah, but still.
but I still thought it was kind of.
So one of my friends works with the agency that Nike, the marketing agency that was Nike's first client, and they're like a huge one out of New York and Oregon. And the insider thing said, this girl told me that they came up with Just Do It when this guy was on the electrical chair getting ready to die. They said, "Do you have any last words?" And he said, "Just do it."
Just do it, yeah.
Holy shit! And that was like their motto. I was like, "No, that's what
That's
we do.
dark.
We just it's
It's
dark,
electric.
but it like
Got
obviously
to the
caught."
point.
Hold on, so
Wasn't
they-
Nike made famous by the Oregon track guy,
Yeah.
Bowerman?
He was the co-founder
With the waffle
I think the waffle tread.
sole, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the air that put him over the top.
Yeah.
It was Jordan, but yes, that's how they were a track shoe.
Yeah.
Our dad remembers when the waffle sole came out, and it like blew everybody away.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean it was different than everything else at the time.
They're like, oh, a sole that actually grips on shit. What a novel idea.
Now we're just like, oh, hey, dudes. They're like
Yeah.
comfortable.
Is that what you're wearing?
I am. I'm rocking some hey dudes. I'm in comfort mode right now. I literally got out of the shower and was like,
I'm rocking Nikes.
put on some free fly pants. I know you like free fly. Don't
Yeah.
you? Didn't you guys do some collaboration with them?
We haven't. They're pretty tight in Charleston, but they're a massive company.
God, their stuff is comfortable.
Yeah, it is.
It's ludicrous. But yeah, and then I was like, I just got out of the shower and walked out. It was like,
They do these sample sales in Charleston where 1,000 people show up and they sell all their samples for $10-15. So you have to wait in line and you get what you get when you go in.
Oh, that'd
But
be
there's-
good to know. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, $80.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take it. It's comfortable though. I feel like you turned me on to them somehow. So maybe
Possibly. I had a bunch of their stuff when they first came out, and we did like trade some product. And I know the owners. They're just it's a brother and sister that started it, but they don't really collaborate with anybody. You know, I can't even get them to do like an oyster.
maybe they
roast
were
together.
in like a
Oh, wow.
FabFit box when you were in it as well, or something like that.
Possibly. I don't know. They're-
Stitch Fix, something. It was-
Maybe Stitch Fixed. But they just launched their women's stuff, which is probably killing it, just like everything else.
So you brought some new products here. Do you have names for these yet?
Yeah, that's the LJ. So everything now we name after cities and towns and places on the East Coast.
That's right.
And LJ, Georgia is really popular for cycling and mountain biking. So initially the designs for both of these, that's the Pisgah. So the Pisgah National Forest. Really for cycling, but I mean, they go with youth sports. They go with college kids that want to party.
That could be Cooperstown, New York, right there.
Yeah. And these things have been a big hit. I was not 100% because of the whole Pit Viper. We weren't trying to rip them, but there was a need and demand for them. And we spent some time with a mountain biker developing both of them to make sure they were the right fit. They didn't fog up. And really, we want to make sure they perform, you know, it's not just for show off looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know you didn't do the Pit Viper, but was the Pit Viper, is that really a brand from back in the day?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that they've done such a good job with, like, if you go to their website, everything is catered to like this old school AOL vibe.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They do a great job with the 80s feel. to
80s and
everything.
90s, loud color ways. And
I just always thought they were like Oakleys or something. And then only when the retro era came back, everyone started calling them Pit Vipers. Like, I never remember saying the name Pit Viper in the 80s or 90s.
no, me either.
But now it's synonymous with that style of glass. And I feel like they just They just swooped in at the right time.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we're Pit Viper. We're the original. And I'm like, I feel like Oakley did that and
Yeah, most glasses.
Arnett and all these other like old companies.
It's all cyclical. It comes back around.
Yeah.
Which is cool about it. It's also hard to determine when to take that leap to try something. That
I
hasn't
can't
been around.
imagine trying to make that decision. Like,
We don't have to. Sean does.
Yeah.
Sean makes the decision for us. He says, oh, no, this is what we're wearing now. And I go, oh, thank God. Always looked good in aviators.
It's all data based. I try to take the emotion out of it because we'll have people on our team that are like, well, we can't get rid of these. Well, I'm like, look at this. No one wants them, so we're getting rid of them. And we sample so much stuff. We'll do sample sales too around the holidays. So we make a shit ton that just don't see the light of day. You know, whether it's a color that's just not right or we didn't like it, just didn't make the cut. But that's part of it. We're just constantly developing new stuff. And ultimately, it's the 80-20 rule. There's 20% of our SKUs that make up 80% of our revenue. So these ones, we always start with a test. We'll do the lowest MOQs and a couple of colors and see if it sticks before we start putting some more money behind it. But typically, people come buy the same stuff.
Well, I'm glad to see the blue steel's back.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you have any SKUs that have been around since original?
Yeah, like the blue steel, that color, we went through a phase where we just tried to retain the color in the lens. Mm-hmm. And just the goal was make them an everyday pair versus occasions. Like you only wear them when you're snowboarding. That's not as frequently used. So my goal was like, if you imagine like a trend, like a wave, and you can hit it on the upslope of that wave and it's a home run. But if you catch a trend on the top of the wave or the downslope, it becomes dead inventory. Mm-hmm. You start discounting them. And so someone gave me some advice once. He was like, dude, look around at cars, like these big companies. How many yellow cars do you see? Like, not many. He's like, it's because it's not an everyday color. People aren't going to wear this frequently. Like, focus on making them everyday wear. So we kind of backed off the loudness of the frames and really tried to hone in our style of like, we'll let Pit Vipers of the world, take those risks. And that's their style. It's not really who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I still got a really loud, ugly pair of Nectars that I remember I came in the shop. This was way back when you were still like manually popping lenses in and stuff before they were manufactured, really. And you were like, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want." And so I made red front. What is it? It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
and these things are ugly and loud. And I keep them in my car. And every once in a while I'll just rock them. I love them. 4th of July, they're a no brainer. Jorts and those, wife beater, boom.
Come on.
It's the look.
Save some ladies for the rest of us, dude.
I can't. Not on the 4th of July. It's Independence Day. It's all free.
We had some pair that
rock, flag, and eagle.
That's right.
We had a pair that was glow in the dark framed, and when we were building them, it was the hardest to put together. Just the material, and it did, like you had to hold it up to a light for it to glow. It was like the worst idea. We had them forever. They just didn't sell.
We had those at Calissa's bachelor party in Ocean City, Maryland.
I feel like we definitely had
we
a
went
pair.
into like a concert, whatever club we were at. It's where like
and the black
there's
lights.
The black lights set them off.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Dude.
They were badass in there.
We were the
shit.
coolest people in there.
Then we left that, went outside and they're like, those glasses suck.
Yeah, they look like
were,
shit.
They were cool in the moment.
except under a black light.
Under the black light, they were amazing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mistakes.
A lot of
along
trial
the
and
way.
error, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you're still here.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the crazy part.
When you redid everything to go to the East Coast vibe, where you're like, you remarketed everything. So like I called those the Blue Steels, but they're actually the Chucktowns now.
Yep.
But they're still the Blue Steels in my mind. Did you see a significant jump in actual East Coast sales when you did that remarketing?
We saw a jump in the wholesale accounts when we were trying to get into retailers, because a surf shop doesn't need Nectars. They have all these other brands, but our goal was to drive relevancy for these companies and saying, hey, we're from here. We're going to support the East Coast, and they're named after this area. And it gave us a little bit of an advantage in terms of like, you don't know anybody, these companies from California.
Yeah.
These names of frames mean nothing to you. We're trying to add just a little bit to it. So we opened up a ton of doors on the East Coast and brought in new reps. We have a rep group now that was what sold them on like them getting excited to push that we have a brand that actually stands up for where we're from and what we believe in and where we live ultimately.
Did it hurt West Coast sales?
Not really. I mean, we don't do a ton of sales in shops out that way. It's hard enough to manage my own team, let alone reps that are floating around.
Much less across the country.
Yeah, so we deal with right now. Our goal is like, let's take care of the East Coast and build it over here. And like, we don't turn people down. We have some shops out that way, but that's not where our focus is necessarily. Yeah. And it's like, I know people like that will go to California and buy a Bear shirt. It's like we're not excluding California. We want it to be cool that it's over here and it's from a place they've been to, or but the hardest part of that whole thing was just the name change with just our clients, them trying to reorder stuff, and customers, and even our team. I would do every week at our meetings a sales pitch for them to pitch the Salt of the East, and how would they pitch it? Yeah. Just because like they needed to find a piece of that to latch onto and be able to grab it and relate to it and tell that story, because it was a transition for everybody. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it gave us something to be proud of and stand up for and dig our heels into what and who we are.
Hell yeah. So it was worth it in the end. It was just some growing pains.
Yeah. Actually the hardest originally was the marketing agency or the branding agency that actually had to rip everything open. And it was almost just like they knew at one point, they were like, all right, Sean's getting a little testy. We're going to take 5 because I had the smartest dudes breaking up our business. Being like, why'd you do this? And then I have to like justify why we did it. And it also reminded me how stupid it was that we did these things. And, but I'm really glad we went with them and trusted their vision for pulling it all together.
It's got to be hard for you as the guy, created it all, to let someone else come in and kind of revamp like your names and your products and your ideas. Like, I mean, that's your baby. And it's like, hey, we want to change it. We love what you've done, except 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like,
yeah, I tried to explain it to our dad once. Like the best way I can put it is like, it's like when you see a girl wearing really nice clothes for the first time, you're like, whoa, she looks so different. No, it's the same chick. She's just in the stuff that fits her best. And so like for us, and I feel that this brand evolution that we did, it fits us and who we are and who I am, because before is a bit like aggressive and party vibe. It's like, that's not who I am. I'm the type of person that walks people to the door when they come and visit and like takes care of people. And I want that to be, coming through with the brand and how we treat our customers and clients and everybody else.
Still, change hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it wasn't fun when you were doing it, but you shed that skin, and there's something to be said for shedding the skin.
I just hope this big East Coast, West Coast sunglass battle doesn't end like Tupac and Biggie.
Who would be?
I mean,
it would be Oakley, right? Would be
are they West?
I don't
even know where those companies.
I assume Oakley's West Coast, right?
They're in Europe now. They got bought by.
They're European.
Yeah, they're all European now. They all got bought by mega
Luxottica,
Essilor.
Isn't all those West Coast brands moving to Texas anyway, hanging out with Joe Rogan? So
yeah, exactly. They're done, but they're just like Midwest West.
Yeah.
They're not even West Coast anymore.
Midwest Coast. There you go.
I went to Austin for a bachelor party in July, and I don't know why my buddy picked the hottest fucking month to go to Austin, Texas. Everything was hot. The railings. We had a pool in the backyard, or like 5 steps from the door, and you had to run to the pool because it's so fucking hot.
Oh my God.
But it's pretty cool, man. That city's really fun, and like, they call it Lake Austin, even though it's a river. But we went wakeboarding, and someone was talking about Joe Rogan living there.
Of course,
he's got a comedy shop, a comedy store there now,
and they're they're moving there. That dude has some pull. He's got a gravitational pull about him for sure.
I'm always proud to say that Texas was founded by Virginians. Do you know that?
Damn right. See, nice. Pat with his history, we've missed that. That's what's been missing in the show is
Sam Houston.
Pat's history.
Mm-hmm. You can probably say a lot of states were founded by former Virginians.
Most.
Since they all started here. And then
the United States, especially.
Yeah.
Probably very true. Unless, of course,
but that is
I guess
cool.
You're just discrediting those Native Americans, but that's cool, Pat.
Well, I mean,
who?
They didn't. Yeah, I don't think they tried to create the United States. They were like, "Hey, you know what you guys should do is
that's all they were doing. They were trying to bring it all together.
We really love y'all being here, and
thanks for the guns. We love them.
I love that you kicked me out of my house and
these blankets are nice.
Sent me to Florida. All the swamps, really good living down here.
Yeah,
the best stuff. I went to Fort Worth not long ago. Now, that's a town I'd never been to. Fort Worth is awesome. That is.
It is?
Man.
I've been to the airport.
That's the problem. You fly into Dallas, Fort Worth, and you got to make a decision.
Then you go.
You've heard of Dallas, and now they're trying to build everything up in Arlington, where all the stadiums are and everything. But Fort Worth is a party. Like it's not fully recognized and known yet for what it is, but it's got the stockyards and it's got one main drag, and it's slowly turning into like Nashville's Broadway or Memphis's Beale Street. Like it is a party, but it's a party in cowboy hats, and it's just breweries and honky tonks, and they've got all the music, they got all the stuff. It is fun, and all the women, their white cowboy boots, their cowboy hats, they all look good. It's a good time. It's rowdy though, like legitimately rowdy fun.
My wife and kids went to Odessa, Texas, and said it was awful.
Well, that sounds like it sounds bad. Yeah,
They were like, it's all flat. There are no trees. Everything's dirt, and it's hotter than hell.
Yeah,
And there's just oil rigs everywhere.
Yeah, I think once you get halfway through the state, say goodbye to civilization.
Yeah, it is West Texas, so
yeah. I don't think anyone goes to Odessa unless it's for work. Like,
not voluntarily.
We flew to Mexico and stopped off at Dallas Fort Worth. Bought a Texas hat there. It was like the best thing I ever did. At that point in my life, I was 22. That hat got me more attention than I think any hat I've ever worn in my life.
Like it's a cowboy hat?
No, it's a Texas Longhorns hat, orange with the white hook'em.
Oh yeah, you wore that hat when I first met you. You were wearing that
probably
hat.
like 10 years.
Yeah.
Everybody thought you were like from Texas.
Oh yeah, they get pissed off when they found out there was like no affiliation. I was in like Yankee Stadium getting a beer, and someone's like, "Hook 'em horns," and started this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Anywhere I went,
That's hilarious.
I had
so
that
much
problem.
attention.
I got a Georgia Tech hat when I was like a kid, just because I liked the way the B looked, or the whatever the hell is on there.
Oh, the yellow jacket?
Yeah, it looked cool, and I was like, it's good colors.
You
Like,
said B, and I was thinking GT because their logo's a GT. I'm like, is he having a stroke?
I don't
it's
know.
A G
It's
and a
somebody-
T. Like,
but I would get that all the time. They'd be like, "Oh, Atlanta," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's in Georgia, right?"
Yeah.
I think, like,
you
I didn't
don't know.
No, I didn't know anything.
Take that hat off.
But I used to buy college hats all the time as a kid. Like,
yeah.
I went through a phase. I was a Michigan guy. Everyone thought I was Michigan, and then I borrowed a Duke hat from somebody when I was pledging.
Oh, wow.
fraternity,
That's
and
not good.
So gay.
I didn't even like Duke, and like I'm actually anti-Duke, but like I really needed a hat, and like someone let me borrow it. I was like, oh, thank God, and I wore it like all through pledging, and I caught so much shit from all the Duke hate. And I was like, I'm with you. I don't like Duke. I just needed a hat. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't showered in 3 months. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm pledging.
I've had that happen where, like, I have 100 hats, and I'll just buy one because I like it. And I'll be walking through an airport or something. People just start hollering at you, and you're like, why are they hollering at me?
Oh, it
Oh,
took me-
yeah, I got a hat on.
I saw
I
a
didn't
guy-
even realize the hook 'em horns. Like people were giving me the hand sign. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Also, yeah.
I was in
Surf or die.
I was in St. Martin's a few weeks ago, and there was a guy in a Folly Beach shirt, and I went up to him. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, man, Folly Beach, and he was like, Folly Beach. I was like, yeah, Folly Beach, your shirt. And he's like, he looks down at his shirt, and he's like, oh, I don't even know where that is.
Take that fucking shirt off.
I was like, what the hell, dude? You got a Folly Beach shirt? And he goes, oh, yeah, my wife just like buys me shirts. And I was like, well, then where are you from? He goes, Charleston, South Carolina.
Are you kidding me?
And I go, so you do know where Folly Beach is? He goes, no. I was like, what is happening right now?
You're waiting for, like...
Did he say Charleston, West Virginia?
No, he said Charleston, South Carolina. I go, it's like the closest beach to you. It's like 20 minutes away, just straight down the road.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Folly Beach. He's like, no, I never heard of it. And literally, the shirt was the most generic. It just had, and that's when I saw he had the sticker on the side said large.
Oh,
Like,
it was brand
This
new.
dude literally just like his wife scored it somewhere. He threw it in his bag and went to St. Martin and put it on. Was walking around with the damn large sticker down the side. Had no idea where it's from.
I honestly don't even know how you could live in Charleston and not know where, not have heard of Folly Beach.
At least heard of it.
Yeah.
He goes, nah, where is it?
That doesn't make sense.
No,
I'm
it
like, it's
doesn't.
15 minutes from you.
He
Yeah.
might live in like Somerville, which is kind of Charleston, but far. You wouldn't go to the beach as
But
often.
you'd still know.
Yeah.
You've still heard of it. I was
Maybe he just moved there.
Be like
He
living
retired there 10 years. I was picking at the scab, like trying to figure this out. He's like, no, we moved down there.
Be
like 10
like
years
living
ago.
in Richmond proper and being like, Hanover? No,
Right.
what are you talking? Chesterfield? Hold on. No, I'm from Richmond. Like, Henrico? Are you making these words up? Like,
You're just saying things.
yeah.
This dude must live, like he comes out of his house and he goes to his Piggly Wiggly down the street and back home.
Yeah.
And that's his whole life. And his wife every once in a while puts a shirt on the bed and then he
Well, it
just...
sounds like he might not have to go anywhere. He might just work from home and his wife, like,
What do you do
lays
for
his
fun?
clothes out for him.
He's a gamer.
Play a lot of. That's
He's a
what I was
gamer.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Play a lot of video games.
Yeah, he's heard of every scene in Call of Duty,
Yeah.
but doesn't know anything about the real world. Son of a bitch.
What do you
That's
do
wild.
when you're not gaming? Watch YouTube about gaming.
Yeah,
I watch Twitch.
quite literally.
I watch other people game
Dude, so did you see that Anbev just had a shit ton of layoffs?
because of the Bud Light thing.
Because of the whole, like the craft beer segment is faltering,
Oh, is it?
like badly.
As it should.
So Ambev just had a bunch of layoffs. You know, they were going out and they were acquiring all these like local breweries, and then they're
Any local
and
brewery
ruining
that got
them.
hot, they were just scooping them up.
Yeah, they were scooping them up. They were pumping money in, making a lot of them better, and now they just had a boatload of layoffs. And the reason I bring it up is because the deli that we're about to have is also a direct result of this. You know, Fat Tire, like a couple months ago, redid their formula. They
It's great.
changed. It is fantastic.
I love it.
No, the new Fat Tire. It
Yeah.
broke my heart. We went and got the old Fat Tire and the new Fat Tire, and we brought them in for a taste test. And everyone in the room chose the new Fat Tire in a blind taste test. And every time I've done it since, it's been chosen the same way. And I'm like, that's crazy. But it's because they're saying that you need to have like a slightly lighter, more agreeable flavor because the craft beer market is kind of faltering.
We did pick it apart for the whole
logo sucks.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
Ambev just had layoffs at Blue Point. That's a damn good beer. Devil's Backbone, which is our local favorite. Golden Road, Kabucha, Wicked Weed.
Oh, Wicked
Big
Weed.
deal. Just had layoffs. Vesa Sir. Like they went in and they just started canning people because all their sales are down. So the latest one to fall victim to this is the original American craft beer. They've changed their recipe. Sam Adams Boston Lager has been reimagined. And we have it here today. The brand new Sam Adams Boston Lager. So we can...
What was your take on Sam Adams anyway? Because I can't remember the last time I had a Sam
Do you
Adams.
have the old
It's
one
good.
too?
I don't. I looked for it. And here's the fucked up thing. I found a 12-pack that didn't say like... it had like all this revised like stuff on all the 12-packs and all the 6-packs. And I found one that had the old thing on it. And I was like... Hell yeah. And I was walking out and then I noticed that the top on the 6-pack I had, it said like a new revolution or something.
Yeah.
Like, and then I looked inside the 12-pack with the old box. It was just the old box. It was the new beer. And I was like, damn it. And I put it back. So unfortunately we're just trying the new Sam Adams today.
Trying to save money everywhere too.
Yeah. They're using the old box.
Yeah, well, we got them. Let's use them.
Are these twist offs or not?
Probably not.
I doubt it. It's Sam Adams.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
Oh, they are. They are.
No craft beer.
No, it's
no,
not.
Mine twisted.
Yeah. It says
It's just not coming off.
it says remastered Sam Adams.
I mean, it's kind of cool they're doing. I mean, we went through a brand evolution.
Yeah, but they changed their formula. Well, I guess you did too.
Yeah.
You know, like you changed like how the glasses are made and everything. And I see that bottle opener
Yeah.
there.
I do agree though, to change the beer formula.
It's a
straight
bold
up,
move.
Yeah, it's just like we don't like what we had.
Still 5% ABV. Says remastered Boston Lager. Our tireless pursuit of perfection has led to the remastered Boston Lager, made easier drinking through decades of improvements. It's the beer you love, remastered.
It's probably decades of them tasting and thinking about changing it, and them all being like, "No, we can't do it," because it's got to be a big decision to who's making that call. Like, we're doing this,
Yeah, that's a big one.
but the Fat Tire is great.
It is.
I mean-
it is somehow a little bit more refreshing. It's not as malty on the back.
Yeah, it was always like, this is definitely a Fat Tire when you're drinking it, which is fine. That was their formula, but it wasn't. I couldn't drink 6 of them like throughout a night. I needed to switch it.
No, now you can.
Yeah.
They made it a little more refreshing.
This is
But they put a
distinctively
fixed gear
complex,
bike on it.
but balanced.
I mean, this tastes similar. from what I remember 6 years ago when I had one.
It's a hair less malty.
Yeah.
If I had to. Oh, but the backbone's malty as shit. Huh. Okay. Here we go. Sam Adams might be messing with me here.
I honestly can't remember the original,
Me either.
like what it tastes like.
Did they remaster all 38 of their beers or whatever the hell? 60.
No, but they took my
whatever?
Sam 76, which I thought was the best, like easy drinking. Put down a dozen beers. It had flavor, but it was easy drinking. And then they just changed the name of it one day to Wicked Easy. And like it said, like used to be Sam 76, and I said Wicked Easy. So obviously they called Sean's crew, and they went in there and just redid everything.
The same guys that did our brand stuff did Devil's Backbone rebranded.
Which they have all new logos and
So
stuff.
they
I
just
noticed
go
today.
in and say like, "Hey, your shit sucks. Check out all of our ideas.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. But
We
theirs
like
was
what
like,
you've built, but we want to tear it down."
yeah, that's what they do. They rip it up. I mean, they do it through a workshop, trying to.
Well,
figure
you're
out.
paying them a salary, so they can't come in and go, "No, your ace is here, buddy. Let's move along." Like
That's true. Walk in and go. I'll tell you what. I think you've nailed it. We're going to take the check and
they
go.
go back for team meetings and they're like, "I mean, should
God.
we even change anything?
Guys,
No,
we
it's
gotta
perfect.
come up with
It's
something."
perfect. Well, let's fucking say something anyway.
Yeah.
Like we got to make sure that we do something totally different.
This company, they're actually here in Richmond, and they said that the hardest part about their job is when they baton pass this like new branding, voice and tone and look and feel. And then they said the Devil's Backbone people kept saying the same thing on like every post. They're like, it's not supposed to be said every time. Like you don't need to say it when you post every photo. So they had to like email them like, dude, you need to back off it's going to take some time to develop, but they just got these tools. We're like, let's use all of them every day.
Yeah.
But the logos are different. It just their whole thing was like, what he explained to me was that Budweiser and Bud Light and all the big brands were like, Coors, like super intense. And they were like, we're from the foothills of the mountains. We just like to chill out and have a beer.
Yeah.
And so the vibe was like, relax. It's just beer kind of
Yeah.
underlying tone to the whole thing. So the logos were like friendlier art, not as like sharp and aggressive. A lot of little subtleties into it, but
I noticed subtle differences in the Devil's Backbone stuff today when I was at the store. Just in the packaging. I was like, it's still very Devil's Backbone, but it is more, it's more subdued.
there's so many things to like a brand that you don't think about when you start a company, that you're just flying this plane, right? And you're not really thinking about even like the naming system. How we name stuff is important, and it all goes back to a fundamental. Like if I start a new business, I'm going to start with a brand deck just so we have a guideline of what we do and how we do it.
But when you started a new business, you weren't thinking about any of those things. You were like,
no, we're like, this
you were
looks
like
cool.
Lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that was all you said. You were like, no, I make sunglasses. It's a lifestyle brand. And I was like, what does that even mean? You were like, man, it's a lifestyle. And
Yeah.
like, that was foundationally your thing. You were like, you can market on the internet. You can get the word out. And I remember you had done some stuff prior to that. Mm-hmm. And you were like, I think I've got the basics here. And you were just like, we're a lifestyle brand. We're going to make these sunglasses and we'll make it. At that time, it was like, you're customizable. We can like do what you want. And like, and it's slowly grown and evolved and changed. And the quality has changed like 4 times in a lifetime. Now, even my blue steels feel like high-end sunglasses, which I got blue steels in the house that don't feel like high-end sunglasses. And I loved those, but these are sick.
Yeah, really excited for where it's at today. With those are made from recycled water bottles and food containers and bottle caps. So it's a blend of repurposed single-use plastics.
I mean, look at those.
But they feel it has a weight to it, which is nice.
Oof.
It's
As
strong.
Troy said, save some ladies for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're strong. They're strong. Of course, I'm double lettering now. Nectar hat, Nectar sunglasses.
Yeah, that's a no-no when we do.
You're at the concert wearing all the gear right now. You got
That's
the owner
exactly
of
right.
Nectar here.
How did the new brand name, because you changed your lettering and font and everything,
Logo?
the logo, did that go over well?
Yeah, we changed that like 3 or 4 years
that
ago.
was a while ago.
And that was tough too. I mean, it was, I don't know, like I've seen that for so long and photoshopped it a million times at that point, and changing it. The hardest part with our logo is the fact that the R, it's lowercase, right? So it hangs off the edge. So everything looks left aligned or not centered, even though it says it's centered in a sticker or something. Like if you look at the sticker, it's hard.
You are nitpicking. Look at him nitpick. I love it.
It's just difficult to design around. So the logo itself is, it is what it is. It's like a stamp. It's got to be standalone to be what it is. But
I saw a girl in the gym yesterday rocking an old school Nectar shirt.
I was staring at this girl in the gym yesterday,
knowing that I could get away with it because I go, "Oh, Nectar, I'm a big fan, big fan."
I know the owner.
But I was psyched to see it because that's an old throwback. Like I know she's been a fan for a long time.
Whenever I see someone, out in public with Nectars, you always gotta. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, you always
It is
get a
good.
shout
I'm still
out.
kind of like, nice.
I get more stoked to see our hats now in public
Good.
because the hats took a long time to develop. I didn't realize how intimate they are. Like, you said you have a lot of hats. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get hats because I think they look great, but I'll put them on when I get home and like, I'm never going to fucking wear this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little subtleties to a hat that make it, whether the top's too high, the crown on it is too high, or it's too low, or doesn't fit right, or pushes your ears down. There's real detailed subtleties to make it as intimate as eyewear. Like at events, we have women that come up and they'll put a pair on. It doesn't even touch their nose bridge, and they're like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even look in the mirror. Like they're like,
My wife doesn't have to. She'll put a sunglass on. We were in the shop and we were going through, and she would put them on before even looking in the mirror. She'd be like, "No,
Yeah.
no," and then she'd get to like the 4 that she was like, "Okay, those are right," and then only those ever made it to the mirror.
Yeah.
So it had to feel right before
There's
you even got to
something.
that.
There's a vibe.
Do y'all know how to read like the frame measurements that will fit your face?
I do not.
On the inside of every temple.
Oh, hell no.
The frame arm, like the little arm, the temple of the frame, is it gives you a measurement.
Big numbers.
Oh, I
There's
didn't know that.
numbers. And when you find that frame that fits, it could be like 45, whatever it fits you well, you need to be in and around that 45.
I just
Could be
bought a pair
46.
of glasses that bend too early over the ear.
Right, 'cause they're
Like,
too
for, like-
small.
Yeah, but they look right on my face. They're eyeglasses. But like when I tried them on, it never occurred to me. It's only after sitting in front of my computer for like an hour, and I'm like, "Oh, son of a bitch, you're yanking on my ear, man." So I have to constantly adjust them. I need to look into that.
Yeah, something
It's not common knowledge.
I see that.
I'm working on with.
Still not for me.
Yeah.
Literally right now.
We're about to launch with Pat's company into corrective vision. We did it when COVID happened, and ironically, Pat and I both went to Atlanta for like a kickoff Nectar into their conference. We get to Atlanta, and that was like the day everything shut down.
That was
Oh,
COVID,
wow.
The day.
very beginning of
Nice.
COVID. I got
So-
a call from my boss basically being like, this COVID thing's getting crazy. Everyone's pulling out of the
convention
conference.
shut down.
So just, you know what, go back home. If, hang for the weekend or go home, whatever you need to do. But we're not going to this conference.
I got that call at Disney.
Oh,
We were supposed to have a conference in like 4 days, and they were like at Disney. So like I flew the family out there and we were partying it up, and they were like, "Hey, we're pulling the plug." And I was like, "Well, I still have like 3 days in Disney. Like, what am I supposed to do here?" And they were like, "Don't worry, we'll get you home." And then the day after we left Disney, Disney shut down. And I was like, "Well, what have I been exposed to?"
Incidentally, I went to Disney this summer with COVID.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I woke up. I thought I was like hungover, but didn't really drink that much. And I was like, oh, it's been a long week. I have been drinking a lot this week. Vacation. It's like, I just feel like shit, though. Yeah.
COVID.
I had COVID.
COVID.
Yep.
yeah.
So you're welcome, anyone that was there August.
You're welcome.
So we are finally going to like kick it back off again, which I'm really excited because in eyewear, this is called Plano, which is non-corrective. And that industry size is really minuscule compared to, corrective vision is probably a $22 billion industry, and it's run by these mega companies. But if we can get 1% of that, or a fraction of that, is
Yeah, that's
incredible.
a ton.
Billions of dollars. And basically, if every doctor's office stopped carrying the frame lines, they'd go out of business. Literally, like these, like Ray-Ban would go out of business if doctors didn't carry them in their offices.
Really, they sell more there.
I mean,
They're everywhere.
that's where you sell.
Well, I need to
frames.
get some Sustos with the corrective lens in there because that sunglass looks so dope everywhere. At least on my face, like that is my sunglass.
Something we're trying to do, and I need to show you the mock-up. So I've been trying to
And
connect
Sustos
with,
are Nectars. I should put that out there to the
yeah.
audience in case people.
Now, where is Susto?
Where is he?
No,
Where
that's
is?
actually a dude who's an East Coast artist. It's
Yeah,
a
we did a
collaboration.
collaboration.
Okay.
It's
All
called the 66 Line Street. That's where he started his band.
So
in
now
Charleston.
do I need to
Oh,
officially
that's
refer to
right.
it as
Okay.
the 66 Line Street?
Yeah, I mean, either way,
I was on the website the other day and I was
says
like,
Sioux
the
Preferably
66
the
Line Street
Nectar
looks a lot like the Sioux
66
stuff.
line.
yeah, we tied it all to like his roots and like his camo in it because he's from the country in South Carolina.
That camo doesn't look like camo though. Like it looks like a tortoiseshell.
It is.
Until you look on the inside,
Yeah.
and then it kind of like you're like, wait, it's kind of camo. It's the baddest sunglass.
Yeah.
I love that.
That
thing.
material, we launched that higher end, and unfortunately, our market didn't really take to it that we thought like they would. And for me, I just wanted to make a really badass, high quality, the highest quality pair of glasses. And
Sounds like you did.
We did, but the sales,
At
it's
what
just
cost? Yeah.
Yeah.
they sell just not nearly at the rate of our core product lines. But what we're doing with Robertson, so Danny, his boss and I met a few weeks ago, and his biggest thing we were trying to solve is the fact that when people wear eyewear, these or corrective vision, when their glasses slip down a little bit and you got to push them back up, there's a weight to them, and no one's really done a frame that has a non-slip grip that isn't an injection like we make. So acetate, the material itself, is workable in different ways, but you can't inject rubber into it. And no one's ever innovated this ever. And he's saying, like, if we can figure this out, this will be a game changer. So I'm working with our team overseas now, where I think if we can make a metal mold that is pre-filled and then melt that into the nose pad, that will change that corrective vision. Because the PD measurement, which he can talk
Nose
about.
pad.
Sean's always on something,
Yeah.
right? He's always on some tip. I'll dig it.
It really is pretty
Because like the
solid direction.
with like your eyes, like if you mess with someone's finances or their vision, like it's pretty fucking serious, right? Like luckily his company takes that liability and we just kind of take the orders in. But I think what we've learned is that the PD measurement, which is your pupillary distance, if that's off by like a millimeter, your vision isn't as clear. So it's
Yeah.
important. So when they're sliding down your face, that measurement is now off, right?
Oh,
so
it screws
you can't
me
see
up.
as much.
Everything's in millimeters when it comes to glasses.
I got those stupid ass fisheye progressive nonsense. Like every little movement matters to
Yeah.
me. I'll be like watching TV with my head back or forward. It's like I literally will have to pull the glasses down to the tip of my nose to watch TV.
That's because you went to Lens Crafters, bro.
I did go to Lens Crafters, and then I went to Costco and realized that the difference is fairly minuscule between those two.
You want to know why? Because these major companies that the doctors sell these like Verilux brands, they're the most expensive lenses on the market. Well, it's all owned, like Lens Crafters owned by this company. None of these like the corporate retail chains that are owned by basically Essilor or this other company, VSP, they all sell their most standard progressives in there, like in these
Yeah.
corporate retails. So you're getting the most bottom line.
Not at Lens Crafters. I've seen the
No, they
sales
have
pitch.
it's a Lens Crafters LX, and it's about a
Dude, I get the HD.
crummiest of lenses.
It's
that you will get.
amazing how they'll like show you something and they're like, it's like a car like driving down the road. They'll show you an image where like, it looks like this dude's going to die. And they're like, that's our standard. And then they like show you the next one. You're like, that dude might make it through the traffic. And then they show you another one where it's like, all right, that dude's clearly, he can see what's going on. And they're like, that one's $800.
Right.
And I'm like, well, how much for the
800.
original? And it's like $100. I was like, damn it. But they sell you to try to get you to the middle.
It's like a psychological.
It is.
It messes
It is.
me up because then I'm like, well, I've got insurance, so that's sweet. So like, give me the big dog, and they're like, cool, insurance pays for 75 cents of
That's-
that.
it's not
And then-
insurance.
yeah, and I'm
It's
like,
a
oh, son of a
discount.
bitch.
That's all it is.
It's heartbreaking. So I've learned my lesson that when I'm going to those places, go to the bottom of the barrel cheap one because it's not that much different than the other bottom of the barrel place.
They
that's
are
selling
using.
sales
You're basically
techniques.
getting trash, a little bit better trash, or just maybe just threw it away.
Yeah, I got that little better trash.
Why would they even sell you lenses that suck?
Because they don't care.
I know, but like the whole point is to be able to see.
I get
like
I got,
Right. But people that don't know the difference will never know the difference.
Yeah.
That's why online retail in our industry is like growing significantly. But the thing is,
we're doing
people,
a deli.
yeah, we're mid deli.
people
right
don't
now.
even know that they.
It
like,
sucks.
Until you see clearly in like nice lenses, you'll never know
Yeah.
the difference. So you just assume, like, I guess I'm seeing about as well as I can. I'll hold my head back while I watch TV or, like, move my head down to try to, correct my
Well,
vision.
you and I are going to have to talk off air because I need to fix my shit. We should finish this, though. This
All right,
we have
yes.
one last thing real quick. Sean, I was in an account today, and she was, like, edging her own lenses and had to put them in all the frames. She's like, I had to do, like, 100. My thumbs, I could see, like, all I could think of was, like, Sean back in the day, like, popping lenses and
Dude,
all the
I'd come in,
frames.
Sean would be like 5 hours into something, and he'd be
His
like,
thumbs are shaking.
Yeah, his thumbs are just twitching, and I'd be like, hey man, you want to take a break? And his break would be he would crack a beer, he'd take a sip with me,
Ice
and then
his
he'd go back to
thumbs.
popping more damn lenses.
Like people try to do it, like even our team. I'm like, if it hurts, you're doing it wrong. Like it's not supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
Over time, your thumbs get tired. And
They
hurt,
get a little
but,
chafed after a while.
But the people will push them from the wrong side.
Sean, you have an opinion? Or we'll start. We'll leave it. Pat,
Yeah.
we'll start with you. Do you have an opinion on this beer?
I like it. I mean,
The new Sam Adams remastered Boston Lager.
tastes totally different than the first one. I'll say that. Actually, I have no idea. I have
I
no
actually
idea.
do think it tastes a little different.
I think there is a difference, but honestly, like I always liked the Sam Adams. It was like nothing it was never a go-to.
Yeah.
But if I saw one and there was, options that I didn't care as much
When
for.
you're like in an airport bar and they just have bullshit, and then you see the Sam Adams, you go,
Yeah.
and a Sam Adams.
I'll take the craft.
I don't want a
Yeah.
blue moon. All right, it's
Yeah.
fucking 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Adams like a man. Gets rid of hooker
I'll take
spit.
a Samuel Jackson, please.
That's right.
I mean, it's
No,
tasty.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
It seems like with what everyone else is doing, it's got to be lighter than the original. Just a little easier to drink.
I think so.
Yeah, I would think so.
Pat, 1 to 5, what are you giving it?
I mean, well, on the scale of 1 to 5, just for like a lager
That's tough.
or like a beer in general,
Just a beer.
3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Sean, what are you thinking?
3.
Yeah, I'm all right. Let me give one.
Like I already want to switch.
What I like about it, it's maintained that like malty backbone that made Sam Adams famous. So I can tell that it's malty, but it's like a lot easier to drink. It's like they've just dumbed it down just a hair. I think if I was going to try to pick up on what's different, it's not as thick feeling.
Yeah, no,
That's the only thing I can like the flavor is still very much there. It's not as thick feeling. I'm going to go 3.5. I feel like it's a solid beer. I would drink it again. I will gladly have it if I'm in a bar.
I'd never be disappointed with it.
No.
Yeah.
Just it's a beer.
But it's like, is there a hair more hop, like bitterness to it?
I don't know. I can't remember
Made like
what
a
it
hair.
tasted like.
I think they added a absolute smidgen
They
of,
just dipped the tip of their pinky in
of
it.
hop and pulled out a little of the syrupiness, like
Yeah.
that thickness, and called it Boston Lager. And I would say, yeah, good job. 3.5.
Yeah.
I'll drink it again.
I never got into Sam Adams, any of it. I always thought a domestic light beer was just as good. I grew up drinking the cheap stuff, so I always liked the cheap stuff. And Sam Adams just felt like Budweiser trying to make a
Pretentious?
a pretentious beer. So I just never really got into it. But this isn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't turn it away. Like, if it was that all you have, but I wouldn't order it anywhere. Like, I'd just be like, give me a Coors Light or something else. I mean,
Yeah, you
don't
either
know.
want something with a lot of flavor
yeah,
or
no.
no flavor.
yeah.
Tastes like a Magic Hat. I'm just playing. Do you remember those?
Dude, those
when
were
Magic
popular
Hat
as
came
hell.
out, I was like, "This is the greatest
was a
beer
si-
ever."
You
Yeah.
were like when
This
we brought
is
that
the
to
kind bud of beer.
I would bring
Yeah.
it to a party and they'd be like, "Oh, sick, number 9."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
little
oh, yeah.
apricot.
Yeah.
Woo. I was in. I
He
was
must
on,
make a lot of money.
Is it not even around now? Good gracious.
the
I haven't
first
seen the other. So I noticed
I hadn't thought about it until Sean brought it
Purple,
up.
Purple Haze is back.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
noticed that showing up. So the other day I was at a bar and they had Purple Haze and I was like, you know what? I want a Purple Haze because if I remember correctly, single greatest craft beer ever. And I got that, and it tastes like Kool-Aid had pissed in my beer.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit! Like this is so sweet.
Yeah.
But when that came out, Magic Hat number 9 came out. That was apricot, and then you had the Purple Haze, which is what, raspberry.
They had all sorts of flavors.
It's like
I remember liking them all too.
Yeah, because the original craft beer craze was not like let's go hop. It was like put a bunch of fruit in it,
Yeah.
and we loved it.
Yep.
Thought
Because it was
awesome.
different than Bud Light or
Yeah.
Coors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'd like a Miller Lite if you got one back there.
Well, I go back to I give
you
it a
haven't
3.
Oh,
I mean,
my bad.
the cool thing, and this is it's funny you brought up Sean Magic Hat because like Boston Lager and all that Sam Adams stuff just looked like a boring ass beer that was a
The original
microbrew.
craft beer.
Yeah, craft
Yeah.
beer. But like Magic Hat like had cool marketing and cool labels and
Marketing
cool names.
definitely.
Yeah,
helped
you were
Magic
like,
Hat.
oh man, this is wild. It's like stepping into like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I don't get how PBR has that ribbon. It's like you won a contest once a long fucking time ago.
That's
but
all it
We
took.
won the contest.
We won it. It's like you got a
1923.
Thank you.
3.2 GPA. No one gives a shit.
But honestly, though,
No one cares.
how would you rank a PBR? If you drink a PBR, it's not that bad.
It's not bad.
No.
As far if you're ranking it against the price point, it's a solid beer.
Yeah.
If you take it out of the price point and put it up against any number
Remember
of
we
beers,
did the contest here at the King of Light Beers. I was on that podcast.
that's why there's Miller Lights in the
Yeah.
house. I'm not a Miller Light guy.
Yeah.
Right. I tell
all I
everyone the
drink now.
story. Like, yeah, no,
I thought
Miller
Bud
Lite.
Light. I thought Bud Light won.
Yeah, you have said that, but it did not.
Are you sure?
It came in second.
Okay. It is sweeter.
Sweeter.
Somehow.
In my opinion, I think the Yingling Light was actually probably the best, but it's just not the same as a Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. Even throw Natty Light in there, which we didn't try.
You couldn't like it stood out on its own.
Oh, it
so it was
stood
like
out,
you
yeah.
knew you were drinking the Yingling.
What beers do
Yeah.
you guys like? I'm on a big Pacifico kick right now where I'll just go get them, or
Ooh.
I don't know what it is, but that's what I'll pick up at the store if I'm just going to have some beers.
So you like that Mexican lager
No,
taste?
that's
Yeah.
what I've been getting right
Yeah.
there.
What is
Monterey.
that?
Oh, did you bring this?
So I like the Corona Premier. That's
tried
like
that.
that's their ultra. Like it is super low cal, super low carb, and it's got just a hint of Mexican lager flavor. You know, like Ultra has literally nothing going on.
Yeah.
This has a hint where you're like, is that a Corona? Like you're not certain, but it's enough where you're like, okay,
It tastes like a Mexican beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
It still has Mexican beer vibes.
I like Modelo too as a go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dos Equis, like they're all in the ballpark.
Yeah.
So I found something I was in the Bahamas and they had something called Sands.
Yeah,
And they
that's
had-
their Bohemian
The
beer.
hotel?
Yeah, and they had a Sands
No,
Light.
it's their beer.
Oh.
No, so there's Sands full flavor and then Sands Light. Sands Light does that whole Mexican beer vibe exceptionally well. But you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's only in the Bahamas.
Yeah, like I literally was drinking at the Bahamas. I was like, I'm going to get this for the podcast. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't.
I guess they
export.
don't export it.
Have you guys,
No.
have you tried there's a company in Charleston called Island Coastal Lager, and they launched, and their whole internal plan was like, we want to be
Island's gotten big.
Yeah, they got bought by Anheuser-Busch, and they actually split production at Wicked Weed's place where they brew everything because they were like not running it at full capacity. So they it was a win-win for everybody. But their whole goal is like, we want to be the Corona, but you don't need a fucking lime. It just tastes good.
Yeah.
That was the Land Shark model, but
Yeah.
Land Shark costs as much as any expensive beer that's out there.
And theirs is like $12 for a 6-pack, maybe, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not cheap, but it's really easy to drink. And theirs is for their whole marketing side of it was, you look, I don't know, most average people don't know what a stout tastes like, so they're going to avoid that in the grocery store. They're going to go
Yeah.
to Safe Play, and they're like, we don't want like 20 flavors, we want one flavor, and this is what it is. It's super easy to drink, and that's what we do.
Yeah, they made it look super. It's like a light blue
Yeah.
box. Like they made it look easy. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's anything
it's
special.
not. Yeah, it's not. They're a marketing company at the core.
I heard you mention the Bahamas. Did you have Kalik?
Calic's another.
I've had Click. Yeah.
It's been a long time. I can't remember if it was good or not.
Yeah, it's
that's-
It all they
Island
all
beer.
taste relatively the same.
yeah.
The only island beer that tastes any different is Guinness,
Red Stripe,
made by Guinness.
is it?
So when Red Stripe was making it, and then Guinness showed up on the island way back in the day, and they were like, you know what, we could help you with that. They were like the first Ambev takeover of a craft brewery, and so Guinness moved in and now they do all the.
What about
the red
Foster's?
Which isn't.
Oh, shit.
I heard
The oil can.
I've heard that's not even.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like in
Yeah,
Australia, no one drinks
no,
Foster's.
No.
Like I've heard you can't even barely find it.
Yeah, I think that's what I've read and heard too.
I noticed when
Never
I was
been to Australia, so I don't know.
when I was on that cruise ship, all the big ass drunks only drank Foster's because it was like everything else came in normal cans.
Yeah,
Or you can have a Foster's.
yeah.
I never seen so many foreign people like from every different makeup. You know what I mean? Like Indians drinking Foster's, redneck
like-
Americans drinking. Everybody
Less
drinking.
trips to the bar.
Is it
Yeah.
good? Like, I feel like I've had a Foster's before, and really, like, as far as beer level, I felt like it wasn't really something I enjoyed.
I had a Foster's while I was there because I was like, I don't want to go back to the bar.
Well, I don't want to seem like the odd man out. Yeah, Foster's.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was with
Everyone
every
else got
nationality. We're all drinking
Foster's. Yeah, we
Foster's.
all-
it's serviceable.
They all go to Outback
Serviceable.
Steakhouse in Australia.
Yeah. The finest restaurant in Australia.
I saw someone had taken a bunch of pictures. There's a place called Wild West in Italy, and it's an American restaurant. Because a bunch of people were posting pictures of Olive Garden, and the Italians were like, that's not what an Italian restaurant looks like, and that's not what the food is. And then this one lady in Italy was like, yeah, like you're telling me that your restaurants look like this? And everyone was like, well, what are you talking about? She was like, I'm in a Wild West right now, and this is our American chain restaurant. And it had like wagon wheels and shit and all kinds of like Western bars. And I looked at the menu and I was like, that is what an American restaurant looks like. Like they just
Nailed it.
They put a Texas Steakhouse over there.
Yeah.
The Italians were upset because Olive Garden doesn't look right. And I'm kind of like, no, you fucking nailed it. Wild West is dope. Like, yes, we get cheese fries and tater tots and steaks and burgers.
It's like
This is-
Cracker Barrel, kind of.
Yeah, like they basically nailed it.
You guys do good business? Yeah, we crush it. Yeah, exactly.
The place was packed. They were. She
This,
was like taking pictures all around.
You don't like
Yep.
cheese fries?
Yeah. What's wrong?
Yeah.
with shit?
Have
They had
you
matzo
ever
sticks. I was like,
tried a cheese fry?
This girl I dated in college, her sister went over to Australia, and
Objection! Hearsay!
This
And,
girl I
yeah.
dated in college.
and she fell in love with some dude and brought him back here to the States, and literally we picked him up from the airport with it was the girl I was dating and her mom, and then the sister and the boyfriend, and we went straight to an Outback. And I was like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, it was the mom's idea, and I'm like, that's not what they had.
he was from Australia.
Yes, he was legit.
Chase fries, please.
She's like, I thought it would,
Bloomin' onion, eh?
You got all the stuff.
she really thought it was like gonna remind him of.
This is the best bloomin' onion I've ever had.
Yeah, you guys nailed it.
I was like, oh my gosh, you're so stupid, lady.
Did he say anything?
No, he met the woman for the first time. He was meeting his
trying to be
girlfriend's
polite.
mom, so he just sat there like a fucking schmuck and was like, oh,
I'll
thank
have
you.
a Foster's, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Australian for beer.
Yeah.
She orders him a Foster's. He'll have a Foster's. Yeah, we already know. We already know.
I already took care of this.
It's like in that movie from the 80s when the girl's from France and she's like, we have French fries.
That narrowed it. The
I gotta-
movie from the 80s.
I don't remember
You don't
what.
know what I'm talking about?
Is that Pretty in Pink? 16 Candles?
It's right in that ballpark.
Yeah, I'm
what was
guessing.
it? The skiing one. John Cusack with
I know exactly the movie you're talking
Better
about.
Off
now.
Dead.
Off Dead.
Yes. I
want
want my
$2.
$2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
and his like girlfriend's from France, and the mom's like, "Ooh, French."
I don't
fries."
remember what happened that night.
French
But you gotta
toast.
think that the waiter or waitress was probably like, "Is this schmuck mocking me with
He's
his
mocking
accent?"
me the whole
Definitely,
time.
definitely.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I knew where you're going.
She's like, "G'day, mates." And he's like, "G'day." The fuck. Yeah, I haven't been to an Outback in a while. I need.
I know we live right by one.
I know.
I go once every like 5 to 7 years.
I went to one randomly, like I was up in Northern Virginia. I was helping my parents move out, and they moved into this house that was right around the corner from an Outback that used to be like my stomping grounds because I had a couple college buddies who were the bartenders there. It's amazing where you'll go if you know the
yeah.
bartender.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like I would drive 15 minutes to an Outback
Yeah.
because that was my bar. Only not because it's Outback, but because That's my place. And I walked in there, and man,
Might have been in Australia to go drink.
yeah. It was crazy though, all the vibes, like all the stories and memories and blurry memories that came back. And I was like, how did I even drive out of this place?
I always find myself in an Outback when I travel for work because they're always in like that corporate like hotel setting, and I like know what I'm getting when I go there. So it's like, and it's walkable. It's always near a hotel or something. And I'll just walk across the street to Outback.
It's not bad, but it's like you're not going to get. It's like a Samuel.
So what's the best of the shitty steakhouses? And I'll give you a list of like what I put in. You can add to it. You got your Outback. You got your Texas Roadhouse. You've got there's one more Longhorn Steakhouse.
Did you work at Longhorns?
It was the worst.
So I don't know. Does Sizzler exist anymore? I think they're gone.
Was it Prairie Dust?
Prairie Dust. They put it on everything. It did actually. The food is great.
So what's the best one? Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse, or Outback? What's
Texas
the best?
Roadhouse
Is there a difference though?
I think
really.
so. I have an opinion.
I don't know if I've even ever had Texas Roadhouse.
Dude,
I've never been to
Texas
Outback.
Roadhouse right here.
We go to Outback, bro.
Are you Outback guys?
I mean, it's across the street. If we're gonna go to a chain,
Go check
Getting a nice steak
Check out
dinner.
Texas.
I like an Outback. But I think Texas Roadhouse allows you to go in and select your steak if you want. You can walk up and you can go over to like the butcher's cabinet and you can be like, "That's my steak," and they'll take a card out and they'll put it on there and they'll give you that number. So when it comes out, your number's on it. And they will even cut a steak custom for you. If you're like, look, I want a filet mignon, but I want it to connect to this. And they'll cut out your own custom steak.
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
I wouldn't either. But I like that I have the option.
Yeah, we walk by, when I eat there, we walk by the cooler and they go, "You want to pick out a steak?" I'm like, "Keep moving. I have no idea what the fuck I'm even doing." Like,
The cow's still alive. This is weird.
It's like
I'm
when
gonna
you
put
hand
this
me
one on you, and it better be the best one.
yeah, you pick.
Yeah.
So Troy, you agree though, Texas Roadhouse?
I love Texas Roadhouse. Yeah,
Yeah, you can still
it's a
throw
good value.
peanuts on the floor.
That is
their
great.
bread is awesome.
It's donuts.
Yeah,
Literally, they bring out bread. It's just donuts. And you're like, this is really good bread. I don't know why. Everybody in there's 400
I don't know
pounds.
why.
You just don't understand why. Like, it's beautiful. It's
At Longhorn, we had like the option to serve people and get like a flavored in their drink, like a cherry Coke. And we would put,
Sean's in Hotlanta,
and people would be like,
2010.
I don't know. It was just such a pain in the ass making them.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're like, "Are these like, what do you guys want to drink?" They're like, "I'll take a water and I'll take it. Are they free refills?" I'm like, "Yes." And then they'd be like, "Okay, I'll take a cherry Coke with a little bit of blackberry."
yeah,
a little bit of blackberry.
yeah.
Then I go back there,
a
I'm like, putting
mixologist.
just fucking sugar and more sugar that's already in them, and then have like 6 of them, and it was like such a pain. They're like, "Can I get another one?" I'm like, "God damn it!"
You
Yeah,
remember
I
what
got-
I ordered? You remember what I ordered? Or do I
serious.
need to tell you again?
Yeah.
I wanted the blackberry, the cherry,
You
the
could put 2
strawberry.
pumps more.
I got nothing else to do but then mix your soda drinks up.
I love it. Everyone's a bartender at Longhorn. I respect it.
Then I had to watch this like.
Oh, he makes them the best. You guys should get these drinks too. Get them from. Yeah, Sean's
does-
your
he
waiter.
does-
Everybody
Yeah.
come quick. Sean makes a mean blackberry
Do
Coke.
it just the same way you did mine.
He does 3 pumps instead of 2.
I heard that about you.
Yeah.
You hooked it up.
Three
Here's
pump
a
Sean.
dollar. Here's
Yeah.
a dollar.
3 pump Sean.
That's right.
When I started working there, I had to watch a video in the back that was like a sexual
Oh,
harassment
no.
video, and I honestly thought I was on like a pumped TV
Yeah.
show. I'm sitting in a chair like by the walk-in, watching like Katie Couric from like 1996 talk about sexual harassment. I'm like, "Are you fucking?" It was like an old VHS tape. It was so corporate.
Dude, that corporate restaurants are
It was
terrible.
poorly managed in every way possible.
Well, they all are. All the fucking managers are like strung out. They have
Not
to work,
Texas
like,
Roadhouse.
100 hours
Restaurants,
a week.
dude. You gotta love restaurants.
Well, it's not it's corporate restaurants specifically. Like you own you have just your own family owned restaurant. Like you can get good people in. You know, you can take care of them. You can work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Corporate restaurants, I feel like those managers are there like literally 80 hours a week.
Oh yeah.
No, not a Texas Roadhouse.
They're great
I
people.
gotta check them out.
The best.
I mean, I definitely want to go to Texas Roadhouse now.
You got to check it out.
This
Pick your
episode is
steak.
sponsored by Texas Roadhouse.
I believe this episode is
Pick your
sponsored by
steak.
Nectar Sunglasses.
Yes.
My wife's never been to Waffle House, and there's only one in Charleston, like in the proper.
How's there only one in Charleston? I can bring you to a block in Richmond where there's 3.
Yeah, I don't know, but we pass it on this going home like every day. And I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, you ready? She's like, no, I'm not ready. I don't want to do it. I'm like, they cook it in front of you.
Dude, it's
Legit.
awesome.
After the baby,
I love
a
Waffle House.
it is.
It's so
not
good.
bad.
Yeah. Scattered, smothered, covered. Let's hook it up.
I'm surprised too. She's pregnant now. This could be a great time to take her for like a breakfast.
Oh, I've tried.
You go to Georgia and you can stand on a road and look in any direction and see 4 or 5 Waffle Houses.
That's what I'm
Wahoos.
saying. I'm shocked.
call
at
them
this.
Wahoos
You
down
can't
there.
get a pregnant woman to eat Waffle House. You're never gonna win.
If I took her there, she'd be like, "Is the cheese pasteurized?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
it's
oh,
bagged
yeah.
cheese. Like it's 100% pasteurized. This is not a fancy."
Yeah. The only time you don't get
Is the
pasteurized cheese.
bechamel pasteurized?
Now she's worried about
it
like
soft cheese?
she's eating for the baby, so she's got to like be healthy all the time.
We've changed it all up.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
No, but that's what a lot
I
of
know,
women
but you're
do.
not going to
like,
get shellfish. You're not going to get any of the things that a baby can't have at Waffle House.
Look, logic
should
is
go-
gone out the window.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm even arguing. I just,
Yeah,
You should go be like, I'm gonna go get breakfast from that new place down the street, and then just transfer maybe cover up the Waffle House.
Go get some boxes from that
sticker.
nice place and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
put your Waffle House.
why is it so
Food
greasy?
in it?
It's so greasy in the styrofoam.
What is all over these
but
hash
it's
browns?
delicious.
Yes.
Right?
There's some other cover.
Can you name the smothered cover?
There's like 7 or 8,
Chunked.
but I can't tell you any of them. Smothered and covered, obviously.
It's the only 2 I know for sure. Smothered, covered.
scattered, smothered.
Scattered, yeah, that's one.
But I don't know what's chunked.
I don't know.
Ham?
That's a
Diced?
ham chunk.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's one. I just said it.
It sounds right.
It sounds right.
We'll give you that.
I want to go right now.
Diced.
Dude, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
I
let's
think we had one
shut
just
this
open
down.
around the way.
There's one right up the street.
Yeah, so
There is.
we actually could.
Jane had her eye on that the whole time. She's like, "There's a new Waffle House opening up. We got to take the girls."
Yeah, it's
But
great.
instead, we went when we were in Disney World and had COVID.
No.
We were on the way out the door.
You took it to Waffle House? You took the COVID to Waffle House?
No, it was actually right by the hotel we were at on the way out.
Oh, so that
We were
makes it
leaving.
okay?
Well, I didn't know I had COVID. then.
Oh, okay. I was
No,
like-
coincidentally, like I woke up, I was sick, but like I knew I had to battle through. Like we were taking the girls to Disney World. Like I had to get through this, and I didn't think I had COVID.
You're
Like,
standing in those lines, just slowly.
it's-
you
oh,
see the same people
it's
a million
August-
times.
August in Orlando, so you want to, like it's hot, just nasty out, and I just knew like I have to get through this. Like I gotta push through this.
Did you get a fast pass?
No, I
No,
wish we had.
slowest way possible.
No, it's like
You got to expose as many people as possible.
make it
Parts
more
per million.
miserable.
All right, I looked it up. Smothered, sauteed with onion.
Damn right.
Covered with melted American
Yep,
cheese.
always.
Smothered,
Chunked with
sauteed,
chunks of
covered,
grilled hickory smoked ham.
Yum.
Diced with some grilled tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Peppered. Fired up with spicy jalapeno peppers.
Ooh.
Capped. Adorned with grilled button mushrooms.
That's
I
right.
feel like I've
That's
never
right.
heard of that
That's
one.
right.
That's a new one.
Fun guy.
Topped, prepared with birch chili, a combination of chili beans,
What?
Jimmy Dean sausage,
Shut
tomato,
the
onions, and
front
more.
door. Topped
Yeah, country with sausage gravy poured atop.
Oh my
country.
god.
Scattered, smothered, covered,
Topped.
topped.
That is-
I mean,
That's what top looked like.
yeah, sold.
Missy? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's gonna make you take a nap.
So what is scattered?
Scattered was the first one, right?
neither
Isn't that what it
here
said?
nor there.
Oh no,
More
I
so
didn't
here.
see scattered.
I think scattered
Scattered.
is just standard.
I
Like
think
that.
it's hash
Just
browns.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just hash
Yeah.
browns.
Yep. To begin, Waffle House hash browns come scattered in 3 different sizes: regular, large, or triple.
Triple.
Yeah, obviously.
Triple all day.
Triple. On a triple scattered, smothered,
such
covered
things as
top.
stupid questions.
I think a triple topped with one scatter.
Yeah. And a large coffee. I'm going to be here for a while.
Oh, it's only one size? Well, you're going to want to keep coming over here with that coffee.
Dude, this sounds fantastic.
And then I'm here for the fight.
Yeah. Which will break out.
Got my phone ready.
Yep. World Star.
I'm in.
Yeah. Let's go.
When you guys travel, it's hard to eat healthy. There's
brutal.
always. I
It's
mean, you're
brutal.
tired. There's easy shit around. It's usually like a Waffle House or Outback.
I try real hard.
Yeah.
It is
Well, like
not
Troy
easy.
said, a lot of times you basically go to like these corporate
Yep.
locations. Like
Yeah.
wherever your hotel is at, your selection within that distance is only going to be something that's like a chain.
Yeah.
Google tropical smoothie cafe.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Or you just get the nuts. I'll just have some nuts.
There's a Five Guys right here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Well, dude,
Twist
no
my
fuck
arm.
guys.
And then
I
I'm
went-
going to go in there and I'm going to get the Sean replacement machine.
So
the
I-
freestyle.
I was actually in Loganville for a meeting, and it's right outside Atlanta. That's where our headquarters are.
Uh huh.
But I was like looking up, like, all right, there's got to be like something, that isn't essentially a chain. But like,
Yeah.
let me start looking at reviews, and you pull up the maps, and it always has like 4.2 stars, like this. Well, I found this like Mexican place, and I was kind of craving that anyway, and it had 4.9. I was like, well, I'll go check it out. Well, it turns out I really did go to like the local Mexican
Oh, yeah.
place.
That's the best
I
thing
mean,
to
I'm
do.
in there, and like they look at me like, it was a very easy vibe. It wasn't
Yeah.
like they were like upset I was.
But they
there.
knew you were an
But
out-of-towner.
dude, these were essentially like anyone Latino lives right in this little apartment.
How good was the
complex
food,
area.
though?
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, see, so you know
it was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I did not expect it to be that. I thought it was just going to be like a Mexican restaurant,
Well, it was.
Shitty margarita. And,
Well, you're right, it was, but it wasn't like
It was a
in my
legit
mind. I
one.
thought it was going to be like an American. I just felt like there was going to be like other families there and stuff. No, it was basically like just people that just stopped working in there, and it was authentic.
That's the good stuff.
That is the good stuff.
Yeah, just Google it.
I'll give it a Google then.
No, look, hey, thank you both for coming in today, man. I appreciate it. Sean,
Yeah,
I know
special treat.
you've come a long way. You got anything new on the horizon that we should talk about beforehand, or I know we just had the big sale.
A
Yeah.
baby.
the baby's coming.
The kids sunglasses are on their way.
sunglasses.
Sunglasses are in development.
2 years away,
That's
Nectar
right.
Sunglasses.
We got some other stuff we're developing. Can't share it yet till it's out. Just features that we're adding to the frames, and the one with the corrective vision stuff I think is going to be pretty good. And
Nice.
and just us offering prescription, we have people ask a lot. So I think
Good.
I'm excited because it's going to drive more revenue for the company, and we're going to help a lot of people see better. So that's a big win collectively, because right now it's tough marketplace to advertise, and we've just learned over the past year that people scroll by an ad. They know, they're trained now that this is an ad, and our best video that we did was me on a golf course giving this caddy. That was it was my buddies or caddies, and we're hanging out, and some random one came up who has 3 beers deep, and I just gave him a pair of glasses. Yo, try these on. And I videotaped him. He's like, oh, these are great. Holy shit. And it's our best ad. And it was something that, we'll pay $7,000 for a video that is epic, and people
Yeah.
scroll by it. It's hard to stop people's thumbs. So I think it's going to give us a new opportunity to reach more people and help them see better. So that's the newest, most exciting thing, on top of some of the other new frame colors and new designs coming out over the next 6 to
And
8
some of the
months.
retro frame colors, like the
Yeah.
blue steels that I'm rocking,
Yeah.
which do look updated. They feel really updated.
They look good.
They
Yeah.
do look good.
What are these called? Oh, the Chuck Towns.
Yep.
You got to get that right. What's the blue on blue? Man, that's styling.
Yeah, but thank you guys for having us on.
Man, I'm glad.
glad to
Pat,
have you.
Pat, I'm glad to have you back in tonight.
Yes.
It's 2 times in a week we've hung out.
No kidding.
And I was,
Wow.
yeah, and the last time I had a beer was fucking with Pat because I was really drunk and I had to
It's
stop
like
for a while.
I'm trying to drink all this beer in here. I come in and it's like a full cooler all over again.
You
Yeah.
two live like a mile from each other.
It's a long mile.
I have a 2-year-old, and
Life.
an 8-year-old now.
Yeah.
Oh, life is funny like that,
Yeah,
man.
kids are weird. They take a lot of time.
Sean will know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Get in there.
And don't ever do anything fun with them, because as soon as you do something fun, you toss them in the air. Get ready to do it 100,000 times.
Yep. I always just disappoint them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, yeah.
Daddy's too tired to do
Yeah.
anything right now.
No, I made that mistake. I was the fun dad.
Yep.
Then I quickly became the
What dad
really
is it?
tired dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a bad back.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that came on. You still have youth on your side, my friend.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you got years. It's when that kid's old enough to really talk back. That's when you'll start feeling it.
Can't wait.
I feel like we haven't hyped this up. It is awesome. You're gonna
Yeah,
you're gonna
It
love
is.
being
We're-
a dad.
Whole family's excited. Oh,
Yep.
and Summer also wants to know when you're picking her up from school this week.
Oh, well, we should talk about that often.
Couple more days.
Yeah, maybe
There you
Friday.
go.
My
Way to
daughter
put it
loves
on him.
Uncle
Yes.
Sean's like her favorite uncle.
Well, if you do need new sunglasses, head over to nectarsunglasses.com. You can drop Abacus in the coupon code. You get 20% off, which is already a good price sunglass, and now you're getting 20% off.
Dang.
That's a steal.
That is a steal.
That
How do you
is a
spell it?
steal.
ABACUS.
CUS.
Did
Pretty
you
simple.
help?
Pretty simple.
Yeah, we're good. I
Yeah.
think we got
Okay.
that. We nailed that. That's the coupon code for 20% off. I love all these new frames, man. Like they're gorgeous.
Frames.
Oh yeah,
Salt of the East.
the beer koozie.
Yeah, so these are like it's a sunglass carrier that also doubles as a
Oh,
beer koozie.
shit.
That's what I've been
Yeah,
using
that's
as my
wild.
beer koozie this whole time.
Seals up to hold your glasses, and we just thought of there's no innovation, and it's tough to innovate anything.
Well, that
in eyewear.
sounds pretty innovative, actually.
Yeah.
Well, a case is
Because
typically
you're pulling your sunglasses out when you get to the beach.
Once you put
Yeah.
them on,
you're
boom.
popping a
and now what do
beer
you
in.
do with your
Right.
sunglass holder? You're like jamming it in your pocket? No,
No.
put it on your beer.
No.
Yeah.
Hang out.
So they're pretty cool. It's still taking a little time for people that order them. We'll even tell them, did you know this is a koozie? And they don't, even though it says case koozie. We have a video that shows how to use it, but it's going to take some time. But I think it's a cool little
I think that's
sidekick feature to have.
What I
Best
dig
thing I've
about it, so it's big enough for your sunglasses. So on the small can, I fold it down.
multicolored too. So when you fold it down, it kind of looks like a
No,
little
it looks
cup.
dope.
Yeah.
But then it also fits your slim cans, your tall cans, and it fits your bottles. Like it's a pretty dope.
That's a
koozie.
good slide too. That's not
Yeah.
like I got to really like work it in. Some of those bottle.
Oh boy, story of
koozies.
my life. I get it. It's difficult to get it in, but once it's in, man, it feels so good.
For you.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
So tight.
It's so tight.
Are you enjoying it?
The beer is.
Yes, exactly. No, yeah. So definitely get yourself one of those koozies with. If you're already saving 20%, you've already bought the koozie.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
Shit.
Kind of a
Two
win-win.
koozies.
Yeah, and the hats are sick, man. Tons of new hats.
Yeah. The hats, we have more coming out too in a few months. So
Give it up. Head over to Nectar Sunglasses. Check it out. Sean, thank you so much for coming on. Pat, hope we see you more often.
Yes.
For sure.
Don't be a stranger. Like I said, seriously, head over to Nectar Sunglasses. Drop Abacus in the coupon code. You get 20% off. Already damn good sunglasses at a reasonable price. Now they're a steal. So thank you for coming
All
on,
right, guys.
man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. We'll be talking soon. We'll be talking to y'all next week. If you guys haven't had a chance to head over to InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com and send us topics, you can always do so. Or you can find us on Facebook pretty easily, Instagram, Twitter at ITPH Podcast. And if you have far too much discretionary money, even after you've been to Nectar Sunglasses, you can always send it to our Venmo.
At Inside the Pallet House.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
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 That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?